Yo, what is up, people of the internet? In this video I'll be sharing my farming build slash route. I know it looks a lot like other builds with the acid cloud and the zombie charges, stuff like that. I just want to share my touch to the build, and a lot of people have been requesting this on my stream, so that's why I'm doing it. I'm just gonna show you guys my skills real quick, and you can pause the video, copy them, and I'll get back to them during the video. I just have my details tab open here so you guys can see my stats. But let's get to the items. For the weapon, I just went for a really high damage one with critical hit damage, lifesteal, and an open socket just to get more, critical hit damage. The lifesteal is really important for reflect damage in zombie bears. The boots, I think you should go for Sunimasa's Trail. If possible, get 8% poison damage, high intelligence roll, and as high as possible vitality. You don't have to go for all resistance unless you need it. Thing of the Deep is a must for this build. You need that 20 pickup radius, and you don't have to go for an expensive one like mine. You can get cheaper. The Blackthorn pants, I think it's a must because of the life on hit. It's just makes every other piece really expensive. Get a high vitality roll on it and somewhat high intelligence. Sunimasa's Pucks is also best in slot item in my opinion. It has average damage and critical hit chance. If you can afford it, go for those stats. The secondary ring, I wouldn't recommend going for a trifactor with average damage, what mine has. Go for a unity with maybe critical hit damage if you can afford it. And the gloves, I just went for 2-factor critical hit chance, critical hit damage. All resistance, intelligence. If you can afford it, get it with vitality as well. Witching Hour, it's pretty much best in slot item for most classes. I went for a max attack speed, as close to 50 critical hit damage as possible, high main stat, and vitality. You don't have to go for all of them, but just get what you can afford. The bracers, Lacuni Prowlers, main stat, max attack speed, and crit. If you can't afford crit on Lacunis, don't go for them. Go for strong arm bracers instead. The armor, Sunimasa's Marrow, the third piece of our Suni set. Just go for high stats, really. This is where you get most of your stats, is on the chest piece. And there's always, all resistance on it, so you don't have to worry about it. The shoulders, I do recommend that you go for Wild Wards. But in this case, I don't really need the extra 20 all resistance, and these have pickup radius, so that's really important for this build. The Sunimasa Vision is the fourth set piece that allows us to get that sick mana regen. Go for the crit on it if you want an extra stat. If you can afford it, go for the crit. You don't have to get 6 crit though, like it's overpriced. Just go for 5 or 5.5, that's okay. High stats as well, since you're comparing against the Mempo of Twilight, you have to get the damage coming from somewhere. So I just chose the intelligence, the high intelligence, so that's a really good idea. Now Tarashi's Amulet, in my opinion, the best in slot for any intelligence user. I went for crit on mine and average damage. Actually, this amulet dropped during the run that I did in this video, so that was pretty lucky. I got the 6% damage, really lucky. 9 crit, max critical hit damage on Tal amulet. I mean you'll see later in the video. So this is where I start my run at the core of a red, and I pretty much just run to the end. If you don't have the checkpoint, just run to the entrance of Asmodan, and you will get that checkpoint. You can just TP back, exit the game, and you'll have that checkpoint. And pretty much, I'm just gonna, talk through this. It's just some footage showing my run. So pretty much, you have your Horrify, and this is Tower of the Damned level 1. It is in the correct order, and make sure when you get here, you always run to the left side instead of the right, because you'll be able to see the stairs down there if there is an elite pack hiding, so you don't have to backtrack. This is how my abilities work though. Hold on. I want to wait till it changes map. But it is in the correct order. You have to follow this route. At least that's what I do. Next thing you go to is area creator level 2, and just go from the one end to the other. But Spirit Walk and Horrify is basically for just movement speed in between the mobs. You just pop both of them at the same time, so you know that the cooldowns will be reset at the same time as well. Soul Harvest is just a really nice DPS boost. It's almost always at 5 stacks, and if it's not, just try to see if you can have it at 5 stacks at all times. The Keep Steps level 2 is really just a high density of mobs place, and there is a good amount of elites there. I made this footage really short of Keep Step level 2 because most people are familiar with it, so just go to the breach and head directly to the Keep Step level 3. There's usually like 2 or 3 elite packs, and it's really short, so just go there and you will get some good experience, some good loot. Next thing is Rakis, and directly to Fields of Slaughter. Now when you get like 30 seconds something into Rakis, you see this door, and when it's like glowing and you see this guy crawling out of there, there's always an elite pack in there, so make sure you check that out because it will always be there. Now my 4th ability, the Fetish Army with Ambush, it's really just a burst damage for packs. It does, how much is it? 250% weapon damage each fetish. There's 5 fetishes, so that's 1250% weapon damage, and if you combine it with Soul Harvest, that's almost 1500% weapon damage instant burst on a pack. Now I finished my run off by doing Sky Crown, because there's a lot of mobs, there's a lot of packs. Zombie bears are basically for elite packs, and I use Acid Rain for just the regular trash mobs. The passives, Gruesome Feast, Grave Injustice, really just for keeping your mana up, reducing those cooldowns, and Blood Ritual just to save some mana. So yeah, that's pretty much it.